What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. This week's episode is going to be one hell of a video because we found out over the weekend that Bray Wyatt has been released from WWE. In this episode, I'm going to talk about why I believe that was the wrong move. So the release had happened over the weekend, and from the reports that I had read, apparently John Laurinaitis, who is once again with WWE as part of, who is now, I guess, once again the executive vice president of talent relations, I guess, he had informed Bray of his release, and that the reason for it was budget cuts. Even though they continue to generate record revenue figures, which makes no sense at all, because now obviously with the addition of the fans coming back to the live events and the house shows, it just doesn't make sense. People forget. People forget that Bray Wyatt is a 3-time world champion. He's a 2-time Universal Champion. He's a former WWE champion. He's a former SmackDown Tag Team Champion, and is also a former Raw Tag Team Champion as well. Why would you want to release him? It just doesn't make sense. So, apparently, Big Johnny had informed the other members of the talent roster to let them know what happened, and literally many were shocked by the news. And apparently with the new Fiend character that Bray had, it shipped extensive numbers when it came to merchandise. I mean, everybody was buying the masks, the Fiend, championship, T-shirts, hoodies, backpacks, all of it. And there were a lot of people who had mentioned it on social media, including also Alexa Bliss, who I'm actually gonna go on Twitter right now. I know that what I'm on right now, there's like a couple of tweets, but I'm gonna look up. Alright, so as of yesterday, Alexa Bliss sent out a tweet retweeting, the post that WWE had posted about Bray Wyatt's release. She said, quote, I really am at a loss for words. Thank you so much, Wyndham, for everything you've done for this company. The most fun I've had was working with you. Such an amazing talent and the most kind person. I'm just in shock. She even also put her Twitter on private, so only certain people can follow her. But it just doesn't make sense. It boggles the mind of why. Even also former women's champion Mickie James said, pretty much said the same thing. She said, I think what you meant to say was, thank you so much for coming up with such an incredible gimmick, time and time again. One so cool and over We really didn't know how to book it right, so we just gave it to someone else so we can still make all the money off of it and let you go. Yeah, Mick Foley said, with WWE's release of Bray Wyatt, the company lost a true visionary and a creative genius. One of the most innovative makers of mayhem pro wrestling has ever seen. Here's hoping Bray finds happiness and recreates himself once again in wrestling, in life, or both. It's kind of mind-boggling because Bray was one of the most hard-working personas ever. Whether he had the whole Eater of Worlds gimmick, whether it was his run as WWE champion, whether it was his run with Matt Hardy over the Raw tag team titles, or even with this one, with the Fiend persona, it didn't matter. His merch brought in extensive amount of money, and I still don't get why. I mean, I get the fact that there are still some budget cuts with the pandemic and everything, but the way I see it, Bray's release is going to bite WWE in the ass, because when you think about it, last year there was like well over 40 people that got released, which include referees, superstars, management, and even also production as well. Only because of the pandemic, which I'm not at that surprised, but at the same time, Bray Wyatt released from WWE. Think of the things that Bray has done since he got signed to WWE as part of NXT. He went up against guys like Chris Jericho. He went up against guys like Roman Reigns and John Cena. Even when he got called, he and the rest of the Wyatt family, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, rest in peace, Luke Harper. He targeted Kane. He targeted the Demon Kane, and not only that, he defeated Kane in an Inferno match, or I guess a Ring of Fire match to be more, I guess, technically accurate if you're talking PG, but if you're talking if you're talking Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era, yeah, it was an Inferno match. He had went up against, he even took Brock Lesnar to the limit and eliminated him from the Royal Rumble match back in 2016. He even also went one-on-one with John Cena at WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans. He had became WWE champion, which we all knew he was going to be WWE champion. We just didn't know exactly when he was going to be champion. It was a matter of when. And Elimination Chamber 2017, I actually did a video on that not a long time ago. Do I still have that in the book? Let's see. Yes, I do. And I talked about it. So that night you had John Cena, AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Bray Wyatt, The Miz, and Dean Ambrose in an Elimination Chamber match for the WWE title, and it was quite the result video that I did. If you guys haven't checked that out, I recommend watching it. But yeah, Bray Wyatt defeated AJ Styles to become WWE champion, and he held the title until WrestleMania. and we all thought he's never going to be a champion again. Wrong. Fast forward to 2019, when he returned as The Fiend with the whole Firefly Funhouse thing, and he defeated Seth Rollins at, if I remember right, I believe it was at Crown Jewel, yes. Was it Crown Jewel? Yep, it was. Yeah, at Crown Jewel, he defeated Seth Rollins in a Falls Count Anywhere match, and the next month at Survivor Series, he had defeated Daniel Bryan. Ooh, excuse me. He had defeated Daniel Bryan, and then went on to remain Universal Champion until Super Showdown, when he lost the title to Goldberg, which many people have said that victory for Goldberg never should have happened, but it was all for naught because Braun Strowman ended up taking the title. So why do I believe Bray's release was a bad idea? It's simple. His character drew in his persona, his character as the Fiend drew in hundreds of thousands of dollars when it came to, when it came to the WWE Network or even Peacock for that matter. Big shout out, don't want to get copyrighted. Y'all know how this works. But when it came to Peacock or the WWE Network, every time the Fiend was there, was on the card for a pay-per-view, money. That his matches had drew in so much money. Even his merchandise. Again, let's actually take a look. If I remember, let me go on WWE Shop, because I'm sure. And again, guys, you guys know how this works. I don't want to get copyright, but you guys know how this works. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. Oh, if my laptop will load. There we go. Here we are, the Fiend. Let's actually take a look at his merch. The merch that he has. Because I know that he has a lot of like t-shirts, hoodies and whatnot, so let's actually take a look. Yeah, masks. If you guys remember the mask that he had from when he returned from that burning, if you will. Yeah, that mask, $250. The t-shirts are like $30. The Bray Wyatt face mask for the pandemic, $7, which makes sense. His Hurt and Heal gloves, $14. It's amazing. Backpack, $31. The deluxe replica mask, $140. The 10-inch plush, $14. Hoodies are, yeah, about $32, $25. Yeah, and even his lantern, $70. $70. Even the replica Universal title that he showed off a few times in the past, literally $320. It drew in money. Dog collars, waist packs. It drew in money. Literally, money. So much money. I don't understand why. Like, if you were to buy, like, if one person were to buy all this merch, literally, all that merch, including a poster, which is $30, sweatpants, $30, for a dog leash, $14. Even the side plates, for his house, if he, when he won, $75. A framed poster, $65. Like, if one person were to go onto WWE Shop and buy everything that was on everything that had to do with the Fiend, that one person would be paying well over $4,000, $5,000, maybe even $10,000, depending on how much that person buys. That right there that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money, and for someone to just release them like that is just wrong. It's just wrong. But we all know these things happen. So again, what's the point of releasing Bray Wyatt when you're going to be losing money anyway? It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Bray Wyatt leaving, they're losing money. If Bray Wyatt had stayed, had they not have released Bray Wyatt, more money would have came in, and they would have drew even more money into their Raw shows, their SmackDown shows, whatever show he's on, it would draw in money. But for them to release WWE to release Bray Wyatt, that there's going to be a lot of money gone. A lot of that money is going to be gone. But I want your guys' thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Answer the question of the day. What are your guys' thoughts on Bray Wyatt's release? Let me know in the comments below. And that is going to do it for this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button if you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, which gets posted every Monday. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All the links will be down in the description below. And if you guys have fan mail that you want to send me and want me to open up on the channel, my address will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.